Okay, so in the second video, I'm going to show you guys some examples that we've made at the Book Arts program throughout the years. And we usually show these books during our educator workshops so that teachers can get ideas and inspiration on how to teach bookmaking in their classrooms and through the core curriculum. And we love teaching about writing and literacy and science and math, all of these things, geography. And it's just a great way to get students to really be hands-on with their projects. And so I'm going to show you guys some examples of those. This first book is on the water cycle. And the nice thing about a star book is that it's very cyclical. It kind of goes in a circle anyway. And so we love talking about things that have cycles. So the water cycle is perfect for this book. So the front cover, and then this is the first page. It's all about evaporation. And then the next page goes into condensation. And then precipitation. That page goes that way actually. And then collection. And then finally the whole cycle is illustrated on this last page. Okay, this next one is a star book also, but it's on the life cycle of a star. So this is one I made. I just used a little bit heavier black paper, and you can use heavy paper, but it does get a little bit harder to fold. And so with younger kids, I wouldn't suggest it, but it is doable. So I just used darker paper, and then I also used colored pencils and then a white paint marker to get this kind of effect of the stars. So the first page opens up and it says Star Nebula. And then the next one opens up and shows you Massive Star. And it just continues through. And I'm just going to go kind of fast. Supernova and then Black Hole. And I actually got these, I just looked at images from the internet and just used some Google images to draw from. So that's what the final product looks like. So that one's kind of fun. You can also punch little holes through it, and that way you can see the light coming through. And if you hang it from the ceiling, it might even move and have some cool effects of the light going through. So here's a few other different variations on this diamond fold. You can just use 2 pieces instead of 5. And you can make something called a Lotus Fold. This one says About Me, and basically it's 2 of those folds glued together, and basically it looks like this one. It's all opened up because it kind of looks like a lotus when it's open. So to get this effect, and there's some writing on there, past, present, and future. To get this fold, you actually use 2. So I have my 1 and I have my openings. I would put glue on this bottom square, this bottom section, and then I would glue the second piece right into it, just like that. And then it would close up like a lotus. So that's how the Lotus book works. Here's another variation of the diamond fold. It's the accordion variation. And how you would glue these pieces together is you start out with 1, and where the opening is, you would actually, instead of placing the next one right on top in the same direction, this piece would actually flip the other way, and you would glue it on where the close point, you would line that up with the opening. Then you would glue it on that, like that. And then the next piece would go right on top, but it would go back in the other direction, so same as the piece right before it. And you would just go back and forth, following that pattern until you finish gluing all the pages on. I'm going to show you guys some examples of the accordion variation. This first one is a great book for kindergarten. It's counting to 10, and every page has 2 numbers. So I open up the first flap, it has a 1 and 2, and then the next one, 3 and 4, and so on. And when the whole book opens up, it has quite a fun little effect, and it goes all the way to 10. And it's such a great interactive book. It's very sculptural. You can also hang it from the wall. And this other one that we made, Annie Boyer made this one. She's our community and studio outreach coordinator. She made this one on animal classes, and she did this really beautiful ink design on the front and the back covers. And what she used for this is colored paper and collage materials, so like magazines. So we have birds, we have reptiles, amphibians, fish, and last but not least, mammals. And so when this whole book is opened up, it looks like that. And then one other variation is the one, I made this one with a group of second graders. So I visited 3 second grade classes and we all made African masks. They were doing a unit on Africa. And we made the book first and then we decorated them. So I brought with me some masks from the Utah Museum of Fine Arts. They have a really great outreach program. And they actually let you check out, if you're an educator, they let you check out objects. And then you can bring them into your classroom and teach with actual objects. And so I checked out several African masks and I showed them to them. They got to look at them up close. And then mine is an example of one of those masks. So I drew this on the front, and then on the back, there's this beautiful Adinkra stamps. And Adinkra is actually, it comes from Africa and Ghana. And what they do is they make these stamps by hand, and then they stamp them onto fabric, and the fabric is dyed and made by hand. And every stamp has a different meaning. And so we like to talk about how you can even wear a book. Books come in all different forms. And they actually wear those beautiful cloths for celebrations, for ceremonies, for funerals, and every stamp that they have has a meaning to it. So it's almost like you're wearing a story. So I hope that you had some inspiration from some of these examples, and we would love to see your final products, what you come up with, and I'll include that information where you can send that in the notes. And I hope you have a fun time making your star books. Another place you can find ideas on how to fill in your books with content is on our website under the K-12 programming tab. If you go all the way to where you see prepared classroom kits, each book form is linked to a PDF lesson plan. So you'll just click the book form, it'll take you to a PDF lesson plan. And you can follow along the lesson plan. And then at the very end, we have examples listed of ways you can develop these books through core curriculum by grade level. So we hope that's helpful to educators as well as teachers.